Hello again. I'm sure that many viewers have noticed that I frequently say things on this channel which are in the usual way of things only spoken of quietly in private homes. This is hardly surprising, of course, because the consequences if one is branded as a transphobe or racist can be pretty severe these days. People have been known to lose their jobs or even have trouble with the police if they don't take care to adhere to what one might call the party line. By this, I mean that it is necessary to acknowledge in public, in defiance of all the evidence, that there are no differences in cognitive ability between those whose roots are in East Asia, Europe, or Africa. This is very odd because almost everybody knows, or at the very least suspects, that there are differences, but this belief must never be spoken of out loud. In the same way, many of us are convinced that the best environment in which to raise a child is in a traditional family with his mother and father. Again, though we don't want anybody to accuse us of homophobia, or perhaps we don't wish to appear to be sitting in judgment on single mothers, we keep our mouths shut about this, except when speaking to our close family members. In this way, the modern left-wing ideology has managed to secure for itself a position which is seldom, if ever, challenged. Even the British Conservative Party these days will pay lip service to the ruling ideology on matters relating to gender, race and sexuality. This is a disastrous state of affairs. When ordinary people are afraid to challenge what sounds to them like wicked nonsense, then something has gone seriously wrong in a country. The whole point about a liberal democracy is that citizens should be able to express unpopular views or to challenge what others say on any topic at all. If the citizenry are fearful of speaking their minds because they worry about getting into trouble with the authorities, then we've definitely taken a wrong turn somewhere. I'm sure that we all remember the case recently of the man who tweeted and forwarded a limerick which poked a little gentle fun at the subject of transsexualism. He was visited by the police, who told him that they wanted to check his thinking. In other words, a citizen had expressed light-hearted scepticism about the subject, which is one of the sacred cows of modern progressive types, and the authorities had turned up on his doorstep to threaten him. I won't even mention some of the ways in which the time of the police might better have been spent. I'm sure that we can all draw up a list of things that we feel are more important than limericks about sex changes, starting perhaps with murder and rape. The point I want to make this afternoon is that any of us who keep quiet about things like this are really agreeing with the prevailing and fashionable views by implication. Silence means consent, and every time we fail to speak out, this acts to strengthen the position a little more of those who are trying to impose an ideology upon the West which is damaging and likely in the long run to help bring about the collapse of our civilization. The values of Western culture and civilization took many centuries to emerge, and an awful lot of people suffered to make sure that we enjoy the freedoms which we have. Every time somebody dare not challenge what sounds to them like a wrong-headed and dangerous point of view, we lose a little bit more of that freedom. If we're not very careful, we shall wake up one morning and find that we have let almost all our freedoms slip through our fingers until expressing any heterodox view will lead to the courts. This process is already underway, and the only way to reverse it is to speak out and let it be known that we do not consent to the transformation of our society into a setting where only one set of views and opinions are tolerated, and where dissent is seen as a crime.